Halstead here with another thought from the road. I wonder if you've ever heard this phrase. They'll never care how much you know until they know how much you care. I suspect you probably have, and you've probably heard it used as it relates to leadership. Well, this hit me today, and I don't think that I've ever heard that phrase used to correlate to being a great salesperson. And here's the deal. Here's how it relates to great salespeople. And if you've used it before in that context, then good for you. I'm not saying that it's never been done. I'm just saying I've not heard it. So don't get your panties in a wad. Not trying to steal your thunder. So here's the deal. Here's how it relates to being a great salesperson. Great salespeople are problem solvers. They're solutions providers. And in order to provide solutions and solve problems for your customers, you have to figure out what their wants and needs are. And the only way to figure out what the wants and needs of your customers are is to ask questions and engage them in conversation. And through those questions and the subsequent conversation, you'll find out, hopefully you'll find out what you need to know to offer the appropriate solution from your lineup of products and services. And when you do that, then everybody wins. When you don't do that, what ends up happening is you lose a sale and you potentially piss people off. Here's an example. I'm in the market for a tactical shotgun. And I've had a fair amount of experience with tactical shotguns. There's two brands in particular that I've had more experience with than others. And those brands are the Benelli brand and the Remington brand. So I go into a local gun store and I start talking with a salesperson about shotguns. And he proceeds to show me a brand of shotgun that I'm familiar with and know it's a quality brand, but I've not had any time behind this gun. Don't think I've ever even fired the brand. So using that gun in a personal defense scenario would require me learning a whole new weapon system, and I'm just not ready to do that. And so as I sat there and listened to this knucklehead spew about this particular weapon and why he thinks it's great and he thinks it's the best home defense gun, yada, 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 I am just tuning him out because I don't really want to look at that gun. And so I started looking at some of the other ones that I am familiar with, or at least more familiar with, and he goes right back to telling me why he thinks this other one is the best bang for the buck and so on. So, needless to say, I didn't buy a shotgun from this guy. Probably will not buy anything from this guy. One of the things that I am going to do is go back and talk with the owner and just give him a little constructive feedback